Yamaha's long-awaited V4 project is finally edging towards reality, with its first official race weekend debut penciled in for the San Marino Grand Prix at Misano. While the Japanese manufacturer prepares to unleash a prototype that could redefine its competitive prospects, Fabio Quartararo has already mapped out his vision for the future, and at the center of it is the surprising figure of Jack Miller. For Quartararo, the launch of the V4 is far more than just a technical step. It represents a lifeline. The 2021 world champion has endured two frustrating seasons, his challenge blunted by Yamaha's outdated inline-4 engine. With Ducati, Honda, Aprilia and KTM already committed to V4 configurations, Yamaha's persistence with the inline-4 left the Frenchman at a severe disadvantage. Straight-line performance in particular has been a glaring weakness. If your engine doesn't have the power, you cannot overtake, Quartararo reflected recently, and if you cannot overtake, you don't have a fighting bike. That frustration turned to cautious optimism earlier this year when test rider Augusto Fernandez sampled the V4 prototype in a private session. Early whispers from the paddock suggested that Yamaha had made a tangible step forward, with improved top speed and a more aggressive power delivery than anything Quartararo has had at his disposal in recent years. It was, in essence, the confirmation that Yamaha had finally recognized the need to abandon tradition in favor of progress. The San Marino Grand Prix, scheduled for mid-September, now looms as a pivotal weekend for Yamaha. Fernandez will ride the V4 as a wildcard entry, giving engineers a precious opportunity to gather real race data under competitive conditions. For Quartararo, the crucial moment comes the very next day. Alongside teammate Alex Rins, he will conduct an official test at Misano, directly comparing the new V4 against the aging inline-4. The results of those back-to-back sessions will determine whether Yamaha has a credible base from which to launch its 2026 campaign. Adding further intrigue, the following Tuesday brings a separate Motogp tyre test for Pirelli, who are set to become the sport's sole supplier in 2027. Quartararo has made it clear that he wants that session to be conducted on the V4 rather than the old machine, a symbolic gesture underlining his commitment to pushing Yamaha firmly in the direction of modernity. Quartararo's stance on the technical side is unambiguous. He wants Yamaha to embrace the V4 fully. But in parallel, he has also lobbied for a bold strategic move in rider recruitment. With Jack Miller's contract at Pramac Yamaha set to expire at the end of the year, Quartararo has openly urged the factory to keep hold of the experienced Australian rather than gamble on an untested youngster. Miller, of course, brings a wealth of experience with V4 machinery, having spent significant spells with both Ducati and KTM before joining Yamaha's satellite effort. To Quartararo, that expertise is invaluable at a time when the entire project is still in its infancy. Jack is a rider with experience of the V4, he explained. We need that knowledge. From a team perspective, the argument carries weight. Yamaha cannot afford a repeat of recent years where technical inertia left them adrift of the leaders. With a new engine concept to refine and adapt to, surrounding Quartararo with riders who can provide precise feedback from years of V4 riding could accelerate the learning curve. Miller may not be a title favourite, but his ability to translate mechanical nuance into development direction is exactly what Yamaha needs in the short term. The arrival of the V4 at Misano will be watched with intense scrutiny across the paddock. For Yamaha, this is not merely about closing a performance gap, it is about survival at the elite level. In the modern MotoGP landscape, where Ducati's dominance has been fueled by relentless innovation, a refusal to adapt is tantamount to surrender. Quartararo's push to prioritize the V4 is therefore not only logical, but also essential for his own career trajectory. His insistence on retaining Miller adds another layer to the story. Yamaha, traditionally inclined towards nurturing youthful talent, must now weigh the benefits of experience over potential. In this sense, Quartararo's request reflects both pragmatism and urgency. With Marc Marquez resurgent at Ducati, Pecco Bagnaia at his peak, and Aprilia and KTM continuing to rise, there is no time for Yamaha to indulge in long-term experiments. The V4 project must deliver results immediately, and Miller could provide the stabilizing hand required to achieve that. The Misano test, therefore, is more than just a technical milestone. It could set the tone for Yamaha's entire Motogp future. If the V4 proves competitive, Quartararo's gamble in committing his loyalty to the project and advocating for Miller's retention will look inspired. If it fails, however, the Frenchman may find himself fighting a battle that even his undeniable talent cannot win. Stay tuned for more in-depth MotoGP updates, behind-the-scenes insights, and expert analysis. Subscribe now so you never miss the biggest stories from the paddock.